It's 184 days until Christmas 2020, and today I thought I'd talk a little bit about the Jedi Temple Challenge. Where can you find it? Is it any good? What do I think of it? So, before I do that, there's other news in the Star Wars world to talk about this week, and I'll look for to put out some videos later this week about it. But we've had some release over the weekend of the preview to the latest novel, or the first novel of the High Republic. So Charles Soule released chapter 1 as a preview, and I listened to that a little bit earlier on the Grey Council. So Darth Lunga read that and got my first taste of it. I'd like to go back and read it myself and then just give some thoughts. I've heard some other commentary out there, more on the negative side from the typical suspects. So I would like to take a look at it myself, come up with my own thoughts, and share those with you. And then we also have a lot of speculation about the upcoming Disney Plus series that are coming out, and there's plenty of other things out there to talk about. So as we get a chance to get into that, then I'd be happy to talk about some other topics. See folks starting to come in. So I thought I'd talk today about the Jedi Temple Challenge. It's the new series with Ahmed Best, and of course known for playing Jar Jar Binks, and it's shown on YouTube. And I found that, and let me show you. There's several episodes, and here's what you're looking for. It's Star Wars Jedi Temple Challenge, and Ahmed Best hosts it, and he actually does a pretty good job. It's a little cheesy, but it's a series aimed at children, and this is a series that it has 3 stages. In the first stage, you've got 3 teams competing against one another to move on, and they go through a bit of an obstacle course. And the obstacle course, all of the competitors take the same obstacles, but in different order, and whoever can complete the obstacle course and assemble their lightsaber parts first, hilts first, then they move on. The team that's remaining, it's interesting that they're not telling them that they are disqualified, or that they're that they lose. They're telling them go back to the temple and continue to train, and they're talking about maybe this will be a double elimination kind of situation. These kids should return back for additional episodes later on, and then so the 2 teams that move on go together in a bit of a memory challenge game, and they split them up. One takes like a pilot seat, another takes like an engineer kind of role, and they go through this challenge. They tell them a story, and the stories are actually fairly entertaining. They're little word stories that they tell them, and then they question them on the content of the story, ask them different colors of things, or the characters' names, or situations, and as they go through that, whoever answers the questions first correctly gets the point, and then they accumulate those, and whoever wins that challenge, again, they don't tell the other team that they lost. They tell them to go back and continue their training, and we'll see them again. But then the final the team that won that challenge, then they go on to a third challenge together, and in this, then they take kind of different routes through, but it's a light side versus the dark side kind of thing, and they're trying to compete puzzle games, and as they go through, then there's a real loud like Sith voice, or dark side trying to tempt them, like to take a shortcut, to bypass the game, and if they do, then they can complete it more quickly. But they have to resist those. They have to ignore that information. But it messes with them as they're trying to communicate back and forth, because this loud voice is in there. And as they work towards that, that's a timed thing. They have to complete several kind of uh, puzzle challenges, and then as they run out of time, then if they complete it within the time allotted, then they take their hilts and they put them in, similar to what we've seen in the Disney World, Disneyland, where you make your own lightsaber. They put them in, and as they do that, they give the kids these robes. Ahmed Best is there, and he gives them their robes and congratulates them, and they pull out their hilts, and they've got lit lightsabers there. So it's a fun show. Again, they're aimed at kids. It's not as cheesy as I thought it might be, and it looks like it's a lot of fun. The kids do fairly well. My biggest complaint, and I wanted to share this, is it is only on YouTube. You can't find it in the Disney Plus app. So I brought the Disney Plus app here, and I wanted to just kind of walk through this and show you guys. Like, if I go into Star Wars, and then we look at the information that's here. If I scroll across the series, the Jedi Temple Challenge is nowhere to be found. Of course, it's not in the movies. Specials, we have lots of information here, but again, nothing for the Jedi Temple Challenge. Even in shorts, nothing there. All right, so you can scroll across. That's that. Darth Vader, of course. These are the different movies, just in different collections. So I don't know why that Disney Plus has not decided to put. I see we even have the gallery here. They have not decided to put the Jedi Temple Challenge on in the app, and it makes no sense to me. I get that it's available in YouTube, but at the same time, why can't we see it in the Disney Plus app and watch those shows? I'm sure the kids who are logging in Disney Plus, who are watching some of these other series that are available, would be perfectly happy to watch them in the app if that was available. Fanjactor, hi Adam. Oh, good afternoon. What age group is it for? Yeah, it's really young. It's really young. I read it would only be on YouTube, Star Wars Kids. Yeah, I'm not sure why they only decided to do that. I get having different delivery methods, but why not put it on both? I don't get it. It's a fun show. These are primarily late elementary. They're like preteen age kids, so they're in that 10, 11 age group, and they have a good time. Spencer, good afternoon. Good to see you. Well, it's good afternoon for me. It's 7:23 p.m. here. It's about dinner time. Mrs. Claus is up there still working. So, Neon Sci-Fi, hello. Good afternoon. Yeah, I like that it's for kids too. And Ahmed Best, it's great to see him on here. He interacts so well with the kids. The kids do really well with him. He looks like he's having a great time. He's a great host for this venue. It's really, really well. Adam, I agree. My kids can't watch YouTube unsupervised. Right. That's exactly right. But they have a kids profile on Disney Plus. And not only that, but Disney Plus has lots of animated things. They've got the Star Wars Lego shows. They've got, of course, all the other Disney and Pixar kind of content. It would be great to have it here too, because I am absolutely sure that as the kids are surfing around in Disney Plus to find things to watch, they could watch it there as well. And I just don't get it. All right, so. This is me complaining. It's about as much as I would ever complain, right? I generally come into these things very positive, but it's a good show. I think it deserves more attention for kids. It's something that the kids can enjoy, and parents can trust that it's not in any way harmful. And Fanjector, you're absolutely right that YouTube has to be a supervised environment, and I know that they've been all through that legislation and whatnot. They had a bunch of YouTube content creators really anxious about the future of their channels, And could they put content out there? Which also raises the great question: why does Star Wars put it on YouTube, where it has to be demonetized because they're having to put it out that this content is made for kids, which means it doesn't have any kind of advertising. They can't get ad revenue from it. So I'm not sure what the draw is to push people to the YouTube stream for the YouTube kids. I just don't get it. Anybody understand why they did that? Shed some light on it for me. It's beyond me. So, any other thoughts? That's it was a fairly short stream today. I just wanted to kind of break this video down, talk about it shortly. I thought it would be more fun to do in a live stream than a recorded. So, if you all have any thoughts or topics you'd like to discuss, again, I want to talk a little bit about the New Republic thing that's coming out, or the High Republic thing, and see where that goes. Spencer, doesn't Star Wars Kids do a lot of animated shorts? And I don't think any of those are on Disney Plus. That's exactly right, Spencer. They do have those. There's a whole series of those animated shorts, and a lot of them have gotten some pushback too. But again, I'll go back to this to the app. Let's see if I already shut it down. No, I think I have it. Yeah, here we go. So in the Star Wars channel within the app, they have a thing called Shorts, and in here you've got the Forces of Destiny. That's the stuff that was on YouTube. But here it is. You can watch those shorts on here, and they've got a whole, season, 2 seasons of them on here. They've got lots of other these Freemaker adventures. These are fantastic. I watched the whole season. Those are good, and there's just there's a ton of stuff out here for the in the shorts that they can get on Disney Plus, but they're not available for whatever reason in the app. I don't get it. I don't get it. But yeah, Spencer, that's right. They do have other stuff on the Disney Star Wars YouTube channel that for kids, and I don't understand why they're not putting on Disney Plus. That's from a marketing standpoint, from an app perspective. That's what I don't understand. That's the part that's got me completely baffled. I just don't. I don't get it. I don't get it. Yeah, Fanjector, Adam. Yeah, you got that exactly right. Those are on Disney Plus, and I've watched a number of those, so those are good. Yeah, there's other stuff going on out there. Again, folks get worked up in the YouTube world. It makes more views to kind of stir up controversy, and I don't want to do that. But my only complaint is that here, I don't understand the marketing perspective that says have content that we only deliver on YouTube. When that is, as Fanjecture brought up, that's more of a supervised forum, and I don't get why you would want to only release it there. And maybe kids use that app. I mean, I'm sure that they do some tracking of that kind of stuff. I know that I missed the community stream last night for Josh's channel for the Den of Nerds, and they were talking about Deborah Chow and her involvement in the future of Star Wars. So I am looking forward to seeing more content that she puts out, and that Obi-Wan series. There's still debate over that 2022 movie. Is it going to get made? And then the one piece of news I've been kind of avoiding because it is a hot potato is that they released in some outlets that the Rian Johnson trilogy is still on the table, and they're actually still trying to plan that to be something that's delivered. So those movies are still in the uh, what do you call it, in the stable, if you will. So those movies, I don't know that, and I had this discussion before. The 22 movie, I think, is going to get canceled, postponed, or even entirely just moved into the streaming platform with the volume and the technology they're using there. That's coming up. The production quality is getting up. I don't know why they would want to push something out to theaters in any kind of rushed manner. So I know it doesn't have to be rushed. We're in 2020. They still have plenty of time to get that out. And the 2022 movie still has plenty of time to get out. John Campea is right from that perspective. But from the other side, I just don't see the motivation to do it when you could draw people into the Disney Plus platform. And when we start to talk about Rian Johnson's trilogy and him creating these movies, they're still interested in doing that, apparently. I mean, that's the rumor that's out there. And would Ryan's movies still create a divide when they're so far removed? So part of that discussion was, well, it's 2020. If it's going to be 3-4 years from now, will people still be fighting about The Last Jedi and adamant about not watching any Rian Johnson Star Wars, or will they have kind of let that go? And I still tend to think that we'll never see those movies in the theaters, and we may never see those movies. I think that he's too divisive, and I think that once Kathleen Kennedy retires, moves on, and somebody else takes over the studio, presumably that's going to be Favreau or Feige. Somebody like that's going to step into those shoes, and once that happens, I'm not sure how much they're going to feel committed to making Rian Johnson's trilogy happen. I don't see the draw there for that, and I think that if anything, they'll be released as Disney Plus Star Wars series, limited series, maybe 6-part series. 12-part series, something like that. The trilogy will be broken up into parts, and we may see them as 6, 9, 12, something like that, episodes, and released in that form. So it wouldn't create quite the amount of fervor that you would get if you released it in a theater, especially as I think. And I've discussed this before. We talked about it on Adam's show. As I think the studios are going, or the theaters are going to have reduced capacity, and people aren't going to be able to go there. You're not going to be able to get the same amount of revenue out of a theater that you did in the past, because there's going to be less seating and less willingness to go to those, at least in the next year or two. I just saw today that the Rockettes Christmas deal has been canceled this year. Of course, that hits the Santa Claus community and folks that are in New York City who are in those big venues, right? The Radio City Music Hall, Rockettes Christmas Spectacular is a big gig for a real bearded Santa. So we have professional Santa Clauses who are losing their jobs this year because of that. So I don't think that people are going to be rushing out to fill theaters. I think people do want to go see movies in theaters, but those days are going to be numbered. So that's my thoughts for the day. We've only gone about 20 minutes here. Tried to address a couple of points here on the chat. If you're here in the replay, you catch this later, or happen by my channel, I would appreciate folks to do the YouTube things, subscribe, like, get notifications and all of that. And if you have any questions, if there's a topic, I mean, it's been a while since I mentioned this, if there's a topic you'd like me to discuss in the future, if you'll send that to me, I'll write it up and I'll put it in the mailbox. And this mailbox back here, I can reach in and I can pull out your suggestion, and we can read it, and I'll talk about the topic you'd like to know. If you want to know more about being a Santa Claus, or you want to know more about Star Wars, or you're interested in a particular book, a novel, a series, send those to me, and we'll take a look at those, and we'll discuss them in a future video. So until then, I hope you all have a fantastic evening. It's dinner time. I'm going to call it here, and we'll see you guys soon. Take care, and Merry Christmas, everybody.